Happy Monday. It is, I don't know if you know this, but it is June 17th. What? It seems so crazy. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Janelle. Hi, Allison. Hi, Janine. Hi, Misty. Hi, Carrie. Oops. Almost reported you, Janine. Hello, Raul. Hi, Julie. Hello, Bovie Snake and Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Good morning, Christine. Well, what did we learn this weekend? Well, I'm feeling better. So, yes, for that. Um, I learned that I really need, okay, let me see how to phrase this. If I truly do not intend to purchase any more reptiles, I really shouldn't go to reptile shows. Because you see, there was one on Saturday and I went and I was like, Megan, I'm not buying another snake. And she was like, I know. And I was like, me too. And I said, what I really need are some ice pods, those little bugs that eat the poop and stuff in the tanks. I'm like, we're definitely going to do that. And we did. And I didn't buy a snake, but I bought one of those little squishy dinosaurs. Well, Megan did, but it lives here with me. So I have one of those now. It's really not a big deal, but you should know that this is me now. Now this is a full-on reptile room because it's not just snakes. There's a squishy dinosaur. It's technically called a Chihuahua gecko, and it's very cute. And his name is Julian. And I'd bring him out. I could bring him out. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can bring him out and show you. Let's see. He's very fast and crazy. Nope. Did you see that? I'm sure that's locked. Okay, I can't show him to you because he's too fast right now. But once he calms down, and then the other thing we're doing today um, is picking up Priscilla. So I have a full day. I'm super unprepared. I had a big trauma happen this weekend. And I know you're thinking that you came here for coffee and magic and some card pulls, and we will get to them expediently. But I need to tell you this thing that happened this weekend because honestly, I could use some advice on like how to proceed in my life. Okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? So it was a very busy weekend. One of my kids is on a beach vacation with friends, and then I had a split custody with my ex. Okay, so this weekend on yesterday on Sunday, because I had had Justin all weekend. On Sunday, um, I had to run to Lancaster in the morning, and Justin did not want to come with me. So I said to my ex, I'm going to be in Lancaster in the morning. Justin is sleeping. You can come and just pick him up. It's fine for him to be like in the house alone. That's not the issue here. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna come. I'll swing by and pick him up on my way back from the airport. I'm like, fine, totally great, super. Um, and I'd asked him when you get to my house if you wouldn't mind just checking to see that I closed the back screen door because for some reason I couldn't remember. Anyhow, all's well. I'm doing what we need to do in Lancaster at the pet store. We come home at a time. It was like close to 1, so I figured that like they would have been there and gone a long time ago. But his car is in the driveway, and my son is sitting in the passenger seat by himself, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's, like, wrapped up in, um, a comforter. So it's like he'd just woken up and he was wrapped up in his comforter, which I'm like, "Why would" I was just so irritated, but I was like, "Alright." So I'm looking in the garage, and the way my house is like you go through the garage and then you can walk into the kitchen, or there's another door that takes you to the screened in porch. Okay. So, and there's like a window through that door. So I'm standing in the garage and I see my ex in the screened in porch, like with his back to me. And so I'm just assuming he's talking to my dogs, like which were his too. And so I'm just waiting, but I notice that he's like not moving, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go and I open the door, and this motherfucker is leaned over the table reading my journal, okay? Like in it, reading my journal. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know? Um, to put it lightly. So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, oh, uh, you know, I saw something concerning. I just happened to see it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, um, you understand, like, I just saw something concerning. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what like none of these words are making sense to me right now. And of course, Megan hears me with my voice like that and starts coming in from the garage, and she's like, "What the fuck, dude? Did you just read her journal? Like, that's not cool." And he looks at Megan and goes, I learned it from her, ha 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 ha. And he starts like laughing in this weird, creepy way. And we're just like, we both of us turned into like cats, or we're like, like, and I'm just what did you like? What is wrong with you? Like, why would you do? I was like so confused. Like, my brain glitched so bad because it was like, he's not supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be reading my stuff. Like, what this violation is so like inappropriate, like to everything contextually. And so I'm just standing there like, "You like, why would you do that?" And he was just like, "I saw something concerning." And I'm like, "What did you see that was concerning?" Now, mind you, right? It's my house and my back porch. So like, no, I'm not hiding my journal, because why would I? My children don't read my journal. You know what I mean? Like, and so he's like, "Well," and it's my manifestation journal, guys. So I'm like manifesting all kinds of bullshit in there. It's my journal. And so he was like, "Oh, you want, X amount of years of alimony? You can understand how that would be very concerning to me." And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." You know what I mean? Like, and he was just like so insane. And like, I don't really know what to do right now, because I had actually come to this like conclusion recently that I needed to kind of shift my attitude and like try to extend an olive branch a little bit. And Megan was doing the same because they really don't get along. I wonder why. Um, and we were all like kind of, not all, but like the two of us were really like making moves to like include him a little bit in things, and just like so we can have like we can all be in the same room without anyone wanting to like kill each other, right? And now I'm like, "Mm, that's ruined. Like, there's no way that can happen." But also, like, I can't trust him. He can't come into my house ever. Like, I don't know. I haven't really processed it, but like, the thing with me that I already feel is like I'm not feeling it because it's so traumatic to me. And I'm reflexively acting like I used to when I was married to him, which is like just to kind of be like, it's okay, we'll work through it. I'm fine. Don't upset anybody. Like I can feel that, and I'm like, I don't think I should feel that way. So I think I'm kind of I'm telling you guys so you can kind of like affirm for me that this is insane. And my son was just in the car, like half asleep in a blanket, so he wasn't conscious of that. But my God. My God, it is a big fat no. So, on on that note, right? I can't even. Yeah, it's like I need cameras too now. It's just so unfortunate. Like, and the fact that his like reflexive response was to blame me. And I will have you know, I've never read his journal. He read all of mine back when we were like in the beginning of separation and we were living together, like when it first started happening back in 2019. He read all my journals. And I'm like, why would you do that? And he was like, well, I don't understand you. And I was trying to understand you. I'm like, have a conversation. He in it, guys. He in it. So, what three things shall I choose today? Um, yeah, oh, he is definitely a narcissist. That is for sure. I think I'm gonna go with colors today. Like really simple ones. Blue, yellow, and green. Just blue, yellow, and green. Cindy. Three weapons for murder. Oh my god, Neris is the same thing. Matches gasoline and C4. Amazing. Careful, you might get flagged. Blue, yellow, and green. TikTok's already saying some comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience. It's like, don't worry, it's totally fine. Blue, yellow, and green. All right. All right. I have, ooh, what's this? Oh, yeah. Okay. I have blue on deck. Tell me when you're ready for blue. Your choices again are blue, yellow, and green. Here's your blue. Are we ready? Okay. So, movement, the king, and the raven. Thank you, Christine. Movement, the king, and the raven. Blue, yellow, and green. This is your blue. Ooh, movement, the king, and the raven. Okay, so the king is here. And I don't know if this came up recently. I feel like we had an action pull the other day, but this is another action pull. It's also a little bit of a, not a, not a judgment so much as a ruling. Okay. It's kind of like we're making a decision based off of the weighing of the facts in that way. But there's also this very like esoteric element to this blue vibe today. So it's not just that we're going to jump into the physical and make a decision. First, we're going to consult the non physical. And we're really going to feel into the non physical. Blue feels like it's laying out a blueprint of a process for this week. And maybe this is what I need to make a firm decision. And you're being asked to make the physical serious decision by first tapping in to the non-physical and allowing yourself to be moved by that and inspired by that and then embody it into an actual physical decision. Does that make sense? Like, kind of like it's like just like sit for a second, open up, pull it all in, and then allow it to move through you. And it feels very much like whatever this channeled energy is that you'll be tapping into is going to completely like flip things. It's going to be very effective. This is going to be a very effective situation this week, whatever this is. I hope it's for me. I'm gonna try. Okay, so that was your blue. Does that hit for my blue people? I know a lot of you picked all three. That was blue. Your choices are blue, yellow, and green. Awesome. The other thing that happened this week, so much happened this week, and I had 2 concerts, like, it was a wild time. But Gloria had refused to eat, the last couple times last week when I was trying, and I had this feeling, like, I track what she eats in my little notes, and I just had this feeling, I'm like, "Could it be possible that she only likes the mice from a different pet store as opposed to the other pet store?" Because I get them from 2 different places. And so I tested my theory, and it turns out Gloria only likes the ones from the pet store all the way in Harrisburg. And the ones here nearby, she won't eat them. She literally will not eat them. She just like puts her nose on it and moves around and is like, no, absolutely not. Like, but the other one popped it in there, boom, took it. So she is the best, basically. Okay. In case you're wondering, she is my child. All right. Shuffling for yellow. She knows what she likes. She's discerning. Well, because even a bad donut is pretty good. Um, Thankfully, the squishy dinosaur doesn't eat rodents. He eats like a fruit smoothie mix. So that's kind of good. And I mixed him up a batch of that last night and he licked it from my finger. So I was like, you're adorable. Adorable. Wow. Tell me when you're ready for yellow. Interesting week we have ahead, I'm thinking. We have a full moon coming up. Okay. This is yellow. Green is after blue. Hawk, bee, and the owl. All right, so listen. If you chose all of the colors, or if you chose the first 2 colors, this message will compound itself. It's like kind of like piggybacking on this, I think, is what it feels like to me. But if not, just listen and let it resonate how it does. Hawk, the bee, and the owl. Now, someone is fucking with you. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Why? Who truly cares? It's not very relevant necessarily. Like the why is something you can get really caught up in trying to figure out. But at the end of the day, your energy is better spent over here. All you need to know is that, yes, that is happening. It's not in your head. But then what are you going to do about it? It's I think it's a natural instinct to want to understand the motivation behind somebody acting insane, or deceitful, or trying to screw you over in some way, because that is what this feels like. It's less to do about you than you think. It's more that you are there in that space, playing a role for them that is making you in the crosshairs. But it feels personal for you, but you could be anybody, basically, is what I'm saying. Or someone, yeah, exactly. Now, where do you focus your energy? On the psychology behind this or on the signs and synchronicities that are trying to show you the way out of this towards a very, very fruitful victory? There's this is very outcome based polls so far this week, like very much like this and then this will happen. So whatever this deception is that is popping up with this owl card, it's about something, like it's about a decision to be made or transferring of something, you know what I mean? Like there's an exchange happening, and what you should know again is to pull back and allow that channeled insight to move through you. Follow follow the nudges. Follow the nudges. If you are feeling like I'm not getting a nudge, ask for a more profound nudge. But these days, usually the signs are so signy that we tend to not follow them only because they seem so obvious. But that's okay. An obvious sign still counts as a sign. You can follow yourself in this and stay away from wondering why. It's going to work out great for you. That is yellow. Thank you for joining me to my therapy session between myself and myself this morning and my guides, I suppose. Ooh. All right. The last one is green. Okay. Tell me when you're ready for green. Okay. Earth Fairy, Novice, the Bard. Okay. This is a color palette of a story for sure this morning. Okay. So Earth Fairy, the Novice, and the Bard. Again, if you chose all three, this is really moving through a narrative. And now, for this particular green poll, what we're really focusing on is what is the story now? What is your story going to be? How are you going to write this chapter that you are stepping into, this page that you're stepping into? And a reminder of all of the work that you've done to get to this point. You already know that you are still okay. You know how in a good novel, we spend a little time in the beginning, right? Hopefully, usually, setting up the vibe, right? You are going to get to know the character. You're going to get to know the environment that they inhabit, right? The rules of that environment and the energies, and just kind of get the feel of like, where are we, right? And who is this? That's where you are right now. Where are we? And who is this? And it's a very interesting energy because I don't think we have ever consciously realized this moment in our lives before. You've had many of them, but like to consciously step into this moment and not just be reflexively led through it is really different. Okay. So basically, we're in those first few pages of the chapter of this new story of yours where we're learning who you are and you get to tell us. You get to tell everybody. And it doesn't matter what the previous story was. You get to make this your own. We have to keep reminding ourselves of our ability to transform into new characters in our stories, right? You don't have to drag the carcasses of all your previous iterations with you into every single thing you do. It doesn't mean they're not integrated. In fact, what we want is to integrate, right? All of the other iterations get integrated, not dragged around like, bleeding, rotting carcasses. So, with that in mind, think about how you want to set this up. I'm thinking about, I feel like I said, this is like really spot on for me too, because so much is changing for me in like really weird ways. And a lot of me wants to reflexively react like a previous version of myself instead of saying, that's not my story. I I do not want that story. I didn't write it. Someone else is trying to pen that shit and I'm not involved in it. Um, it has a lot of connection to your body as well, your relationship to your physical form and how you are treating this physical form in this current um, chapter of your life, right? Can you also show your body, right, compassion and love, kindness, and care in a way that you haven't before? All of these things really tie together quite beautifully, actually. But that really is what I want to drive home about green is this idea that you're in the beginning of your story, setting up the vibes, letting us know who you are, right? Maybe even a little bit of exposition about where you've been, right? Sure. But who are you now also? What is your environment like? What do you like to eat? Who are your friends? What music are you listening to? How do you dress yourself? Does anybody back in the way back days used to read the Babysitters Club books because I was like really into them when I was little, and they are very formulaic. And in the beginning of every book, like depending on who was like spearheading that particular book, like if it was Claudia or Christy or whatever, um, they would tell you all of the details about what that person would wear. Remember Claudia with her glitter nail polish and like whatever it was, like we were really like into the details of how they would dress themselves, how they would present themselves, right? You too do it, right? It like that. Like I'm serious. I'm feeling it so strongly for you. I'm feeling it so strongly for me. Like what are we doing here? What's the vibe? Like how wild are we, right? That we get the opportunity to consciously author our vibes right now. And even in the especially, not even, especially in the physical. And I hope that if you've been here with me long enough, right, you've noticed that it is very possible to become a million different people in a very short amount of time. Because I've been here, talking to you guys through the internet since like what 2017 ish, right? And especially 2018. And in that amount of time, I feel like I've probably been 12 different people. Um, and for those of you who have been with me through that time, ask yourself this question, right? Because you're still here. Ask yourself, how did it make you feel to watch me change everything that I was doing? Right? How did it make you feel if, you were part of restoration and all of a sudden it's inner sanctum and then all of a sudden it's normalized magic? Did it make you feel scared? Did it make you feel like, "Ooh, I can't trust her because she keeps changing things?" Like, I'm not feeding you the answer, I'm asking. Like, how did it make you feel to watch me do that? To watch me literally in live real time be like, "Whoop, I'm a different person now." Because I will say, like, I have made so many changes, but I have never been a different person, actually. I feel like every time I shift like that, I become more authentic in my presentation of myself and more able to connect with the things that feel most important to me every time that I shift and change, right? Misty says, it was validating to see your evolution because it gave me permission for me to also grow. Janelle said, made me feel normal. We are here for the change of life and like I'm not cray cray. Exactly. So I want you to remember that because there are also people who watch you. And when you allow yourself to evolve and change and try new things, try on different skins, try on different ways of your hair, outfits, whatever. Every time you do these things, somebody is watching, right? Somebody is watching, and you are giving them permission to be authentic as well and to take a chance as well and not to just be safe and miserable, right? Because we're really not here for that long, right? Enjoy yourself, do the things. And this particular poll, this all three of them today, honestly, feel very empowering to me, and I hope they feel very empowering to you too. I really needed this message today to just kind of, you know, really lean in to whatever the next thing is, and lean in, flesh it out, all the details, and just go. And just know that the people who are around you, who are rooting for you and loving you, you're not going to stop doing that because you shift into a new energy. If they're meant to be around you, they're going to be excited to see what adventures you come up with next. Okay. So we all need to remember that, as I fill my entire office with reptiles and you do whatever it is you do, we just need to support each other, support ourselves, and really just start to have a little bit of fun with this, right? Cool. I love it. Thanks for being here today. It's going to be a good week. We have a full moon. Couple things. One-on-one sessions are open. I have 15-minute, 30-minute, and hour-long sessions available. Everything's on my website. If you would like to join us for the next 12-week session of Normalized Magic, which I hope you do, I will be sending out registration for that closer to August, but you can reserve your spot by just going to sarahmala.com/subscribe, and that'll put you on the list, and we'll make sure that you can get in. If you would like to send a donation to Coffee and Magic, the links for that are in my bios on Instagram and TikTok. Hope you have a really great week. I will be back Friday at 10 a.m. with more Coffee and Magic. I love you so much. Mwah! It's going to be a good day. It's going to be hot, but so are you.